Hey, yo, what's going on with it? Once again, bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters is the one and the only, of course, Mr. In terms of 32011 AK Person Guy 2009, of course, you guys have been listening to the channel toward the end. Definitely check out number.com. Of course, shopping in the studios on Anthony People on official channel banner design and picture specifically made just for you. I'll put links to all their social media networking description accounts in the description box down below. And of course, as always, definitely check out our partnership, business partnership program, best partnership I ever had. And of course, as always, definitely check them out on Google. So today, before I begin, I just want to give a quick shout out to the homeboys at Kotaku News. Those guys always put real crazy ass insane information every now and then. Almost like 4chan, but not as bad. But yeah, I just had to give them a quick special shout out for finding this information or whatever. It was on their Twitter or Facebook, I'm not sure. But other than that, a little bit of grieving, depressing news, unfortunately, has something to do with Nintendo and an employee, unfortunately, getting terminated and fired from his job. And fortunately, I feel the dude because it was back in 07 or 08. And mind you, this was around the time when I was still in high school, just barely transitioning into community college and all that. I got fired, not once, but twice, but it was through stupid ass retail jobs I didn't really give a fuck about. Because the first one, boss was an asshole piece of shit. I couldn't stand her. She was a cunt. I didn't like her at all because the way she was working me, it's like I felt very like secluded and very extremely like uncomfortable working there. And after about 3-6 months, I just told her to go fuck off and go kill yourself and go fuck off, go kill yourself and go jump off the nearest cliff because I couldn't stand the cunt anymore. And that's when I didn't even like get fired. I just told her to go fuck off and quit. I'm not gonna tell you what the retail place was at because I don't want any stalkers going over there or whatever, knowing that, oh, do you know this dude named Nintendo Sony for 2011? Which you're not gonna know who I was because this was like a couple of years before I even made this channel. So yeah, this was about 7, almost 8 years before I even made this channel. But at the same time, I was very young, very naive, extremely impatient. I was about 17, 18, 19 at that time, just barely starting to work. When I was still in high school, transitioning into community college at that time. And then the second one, pretty much, I think it lasted for about 2 weeks. I think 2 months, I'm not sure. I think it was in 2008. And I really didn't like it that much. It wasn't even a real job. It was like a temp agency place, which I'm not going to say what it is because I really don't need anyone, once again, going back and digging in my past history, trying to find out where I am, what my real name was, because you're not going to get any of it. Because I'm not telling you where it was. Let's just say it was another lady, unfortunately. I don't know what it is, but a lot of the bosses were freaking cunt bitches or whatever. They were mostly female that I had issues with because whenever I was working under a male boss, I never had any issues or trouble at all. They were usually cool. They were very respectable towards me, even though I respected them because, they're my superior, they're my boss. I have to listen to what they say. And I don't know what it was. It's just whenever I had a female boss, I always had an issue. But whenever I had to have a guy boss that was a man, like I was always real cool and really respectable towards him, and he respected me. Like I don't know. I never had any problems or anything for some reason. I don't know what it was. I'm not trying to be a sexist. It's just my own personal experience. I've had that happen. Anyways, so in a way, I kind of feel the guy of how it felt like to be fired. And as far as the other past jobs I had in the past almost 26 years of my life, which is not that long, because I've only been working since about 2007, 08. And the current jobs I have permanently now is at the hotel jobs, most of you guys know, and any other job which I'm not going to tell you because that has something to do with retail again. But that's just for extra money on the spending money. The other one is for like my bills and taxes. That's my real income. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's begin and see if I could get this article started. Let's go. So, I heard about this dude before. His name is Prang, and I think I've done a video about him in the past. I think it was about a month ago. I think it was late last month, July, when I did the video. And about not too long ago, it was about an article about him saying why the Nintendo 3DS and the DS, why are all these Super Mario games, Yoshi, Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, Zero Suit Samus, or Metroid games, or Donkey Kong, Star Fox, and all the other Nintendo related games, why do they always have new in every remake of their game ever since way back in the day when their original games for the NES, SNES, and N64 were still blowing up at that time? And kind of sort of the GameCube, but not really. The only new game I knew that came out for certain like titles for that console system specifically on its own was Beautiful Joe. There was another one, I think Pikmin, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Who else? After The Wind Waker. Oh yeah, Metroid Zero Suit Mission. That one was a really good one for the GameCube, and along with another very really awesome specific one, like a couple Lego games that came out at that time, along with a few Star Wars games. What else? Animal Crossing was real big at that time. That's when it first made its appearance at Nintendo ever. And even though Lego and Star Wars, they're for the other consoles, obviously, for like Sony games, for PS2, 3, and 4, along with Xbox 360 and Xbox One. So that's in all three. It's not exclusive to Nintendo, obviously. Just like how Bayonetta was for the PS3 and the Xbox 360 at that time. And then, of course, later on, it ended up becoming a Nintendo exclusive when Bayonetta 2 was created. So anyways, I'm going to read this article real quick. It's from Kotaku News. It's a very long-ass article, so if you don't want to hear me read the whole thing, you just read it on your own. And there's already a couple of videos out there talking about this. This actually happened on August 13th, so this is almost 2.5 weeks old. But I'm just hearing about it for the first time. Earlier this morning I heard about it. I was planning on doing a video about it. Had to keep my word. So, there's actually 2 other videos I really want to do. One of them actually is still Nintendo related, but at the same time it's not. It's more fan base related. It's my Triple Fusion, Pokemon Triple Fusion video list of all time. The best of the best. The coolest and the weirdest ones. And I've never done a Triple Fusion list on this channel before. I'm going to try to make it 30 minutes at the shortest. Longest is probably going to be 50, 55 minutes, pretty much almost an hour. So I won't be surprised I don't get too many views on there. You know, I'm totally cool with that. And yeah. And the other one is, I'm reading on my Criticism Guide 2009 channel because once again, he who we shall not speak of decided to make another fucking racist ass comment on Latinos and Hispanics. And as most of you people know, I'm Hispanic descendant, Mexican, Puerto Rican. If any people haven't seen my older videos, I talk about that a lot more than I do now. I don't talk about it as much as I used to. It's been about 2.5 years since I've brought that up a few times. Anyways, yeah, it's about you know who, the dude that's that freaking asshole piece of crap on the Celebrity Apprentice, which I'm not going to say who he is because he's just an asshole and he's a bigot. And I'm not going to talk about him here. I'm talking about my Criticism Guide channel if any people want me to see me rip him a new asshole again, because I'm just fed up with the crap he always talks all the time. He's just a freaking jerk off. He really is. I hope he gets dealt with soon, man. Because I have a big ass issue with that piece of crap. I do. Anyways, back on this term though, Nintendo employee, and his name was Prang again. Once again, he was the same dude that did that exact same reasoning and explanation of why in Japan how new is a really exotic, sexy, a very amazing, cool word to use out there, but over here in America, in the United States, in the West, it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, from Kotaku News, links in the article and description box down below, and of course, as always, in the link in the annotation right there that you saw earlier. So yeah, it says from Kotaku News, Nintendo fires employee for speaking on podcast. Article by Jason Schreiner. Once again, shout out to Jason Schreiner to making this article. Once again, thanks for him for all the research that he does, so that way I can report it myself and the other people that make YouTube videos about it on the situation. So yeah, 8/13-15. So yeah, August 13th of this past month almost. So last week, Nintendo localization editor Chris Prang made an appearance on a small podcast called Part-Time Gamers. This week, Nintendo fired him, and it says goes to say, quote unquote, I might have to do a second part in this video just in case anything comes up, like I always say. He had a lot of friends. Oh yeah, no, it says, hello friends and family. Prang wrote in a heartbreaking public Facebook message announcement this morning. And it goes to say, quote unquote, once again, as many of you have probably seen, I am no longer working at Nintendo. I was terminated this week due to a podcast appearance I made last Monday. It was a stupid judgment call on my part, and ultimately it cost me much more than I could have ever imagined, unquote. On August 3rd, the Part-Time Gamer podcast posted their interview with Prang, Pranger, that's what it was, who spoke candidly about his work in Nintendo's secretive treehouse where the company translates and localizes software in Japanese into English and other languages. In the following days, a number of Nintendo fan sites and their message boards started picking up on the interview, posting a whole lot of experts that they found interesting. Go Nintendo, for example, reported on Prangers defending the Wii U's name and taking it in about on how passionate Smash Bros. Designer Masahiro Sakurai can be. Although the podcast didn't draw a ton of mainstream attention, fans found it fascinating because it has become so rare to hear from Nintendo's employees to speak about the company without specific PR approvals. And Nintendo, just like most Japanese video game companies, tends to prohibit its staff from speaking to the public about inner workings unless they are given explicit approval from their communications team, but both in the United States and Japan. As it turns out, even a handful of seemingly insidious comments can lead Nintendo to fire an employee. And he goes on to say this segment, and is unfortunately, Facebook last posting message before, I think after he got fired from his job at Nintendo. And it goes to say, quote, "I was instantly scared when a co-worker poked me and said, 'Hey, you're on Go Nintendo?' Unquote. Suddenly, article after article began appearing in game sites in all different languages and comments sections, pointing me out as an idiot and the like. My Twitter started giving me hourly reminders from people messaging me and then meaning me well and otherwise. It seems within the unthinkable that I'd be as good for a single moment of poor judgment. Why my misunderstandings? But here we are," unquote. And then it goes on to say the other article that the dude Jason Snyder made. Last Thursday, a NeoGAF podcaster posted posted the transcript on particular sections of Pranger's podcast. The comments that angered a few fans. He had poked fun of people who say things like, "Why do you hate money, Nintendo?" or while asking the company to localize niche games. Posting out with the other games like Xenoblade doesn't often sell enough to justify expensive voice acting and other production costs, while we get it in the United States by luck, he said, unquote, and then requote, that no one decided. Oh well, we'll take care of the fall. Well, wait, hold on guys. We'll localize it, there we go. Okay, so because someone is going to have to eat the cost somewhere, because that game is guaranteed to not sell enough just to justify how big that game is, unquote. And then he goes to requote again. It's not clear exactly which parts of the podcast which Nintendo to fire Chris Prang and Kranger declined to comment when I reached out to him this afternoon. But he didn't talk about anything unannounced games or anything other information that might be considered a trade secret to an outside observer. Nintendo has not yet responded to the request of the comment. Update, 3:43 p.m. This is in his own other words again. Nintendo adds, and this is the Nintendo saying it in itself. I don't know if it was Reggie Fils-Aimé or Bill Trenner or what's the other dude's name? Something Miyamoto. It could have been any of those CEO ranking dudes. So that they said, or somebody else. It could have been one of their publishing communicating provider division. We have no comment on this we have no comment on this topic other than to wish Chris Prang the best in his future endeavors, unquote. I look around my house, and this is him talking against Chris Pranger, the one that got fired, unfortunately, in Nintendo. I look around my house and see images of my son and feel such intense and shame, crippling sadness, unquote. Chris Prang wrote on his Facebook, I know that if I can't find a job and at least as good as this one, I won't be able to provide for my family. I've lost I lost them their health coverage and their security income. I also know that I've lost a good deal of friends just because I know how hard it can be to stay in touch with someone that when the convenience of proximity is lost. I'm so sorry to everyone that I failed you, believed in me and supported me and trusted me, and I failed you. I failed myself, unquote. And the top images were from Sensatavio, Shatterstock, and Jason Schreiner, and his discussion topics are the people that sponsored this, I guess. Overall thoughts, views, and opinions. It's really a shame. It's damn fucking sad that this man lost his job. I mean, like I said, I kind of been there myself, but it was for two little shitty retail jobs. One was a temp agency, so I didn't really care how long I was there for. First one was kind of important, but I couldn't stand the lady. She was just a freaking cunt. But of course, I was about 17, 18, 19 at that time. I was real young, naive, real stupid, very impatient at that time. About 6, 7 years later, I'm a lot more mature. I can take judgmental, harsh criticism a little bit, or constructive criticism a lot better than I did a few years ago. And I'm a lot more grown and mature about things nowadays. Back then I wasn't though. I went on a lot of rants and rampages at that time in my life, and it was kind of a big hot mess. Let's just leave it at that. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, the only two things I gotta say is that number one, the thing that worries about me for this guy is that, like he said at the end of his Facebook messaging rant or whatever, or his public announcement of how he got terminated and fired from Nintendo, one of the biggest video gaming companies of all time. You know, of course, next to Sony PS1 through 4 and Xbox 360, and Xbox One for Microsoft, and other places, I guess, too, but they're not as big, of course. Or PC Master Race Game, and I really don't like that term. It's kind of silly. Rolls off the tongue easy, but it's silly as fuck. I don't know how in the world he's going to provide for his family or his son, you know, because I don't know how old his son is specifically. I don't know if he's a little kid or if he's in his teen years or he's about to be in his 20s. I mean, if he's almost in his 20s, he shouldn't really worry about him unless he's, you know, living with his father because he doesn't have a job or whatever. Back in the day, I was in that situation. I'm not going to lie, it was crap. And I did it for about 2 years, and it was miserable 2 years of my life. I hated the hell out of life. And this was about a couple months before I even started this channel, which was not fun times. Let me just let you guys know. Thank God I'm living in my roommate's place and not my family, because it would have been crap. And totally legit honest, I'm being honest with you guys, it would have sucked ass. I don't even think I'd be doing videos right now. I'd probably just be miserable in my room like for the next 7 or 8 years. It would have sucked. It really would have. Anyways, folks, yeah, that's the first thing that worries me about this dude. How's he gonna provide for his family and everything? I'm pretty sure Sony, the company of Sony, a lot of their localization community people, like, they probably heard about this news, and they're probably not gonna end up giving him a job over there, or for Microsoft Xbox One, you know. So either way, he's screwed unless he works for like the PC company like Steam, you know. Maybe if like Steam's making a couple games every now and then, he'll be able to do localizations there, maybe, because, you know, a lot of their games are usually indie games most of the time. And then there's a few of the games, you know, they're big giant corporate CEO companies from video games, from the big three video game companies like Nintendo, Sony, and actually no, mostly Sony and Microsoft. They don't really have that many Nintendo games on Steam, but if they did, that'd be awesome. Or maybe something like Sega. Maybe it could work there, since they're going to be making a home console based system pretty soon, next month in September. Supposedly, with the rumors going on since June or May or June of this past summer. And hopefully maybe he might be able to land a job there. Hopefully he does. You know, I'm hoping, I'm praying this dude gets some type of work, because he really deserves it. Even though he pretty much fucked up and pretty much went on everyone's back about how he really felt about Nintendo. He didn't spoil any video games thing. That's the thing that's kind of making me, like, you know, shake my head and I'm kind of like a little bit confused and curious about, like, if he didn't mention any future games coming out for 2016, 2017, like, I don't know, for example, a brand new Legend of Zelda game, let's go with that, or a new Donkey Kong, maybe a remake game, or a new Smash Bros. Game, hell, even a fucking Star Fox, or bringing back the NES Mother series, or even brand new Pokemon remake game, you know? If he didn't mention any of those things, it makes me wonder what was it that he got fired for, you know? And as far as Nintendo's part goes, I don't know if they would be like they were in the right or they were the wrong of this situation, or this decisions that they had to make to fire this dude. But I don't know if he cursed them out. I don't know if it was that he had a little bit of a disagreement with another employee or another bigger, higher up boss manager or whatever, besides Reggie Fils-Aimé. I don't know what it was. Only God knows what it was, pretty much. And that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say. Hopefully Chris Prang gets back on his feet and tries to get a job, because he really needs it big time. He really honestly does, to be totally honest, you know. Hopefully nobody remembers his past, so that way he can try to get some type of job at some organization, or he's just going to have to do shitty retail work. That's really going to suck. But other than that, you know, that's all I have to say. I'm not going to say fuck Nintendo for doing this, because, you know, obviously, you know, they had some sort of like, some sort of excuse to fire the dude, because, or they had some type of reason for terminating this guy. I don't know, maybe he did something wrong, maybe he did something maybe not too bad. Maybe he was supposed to talk to the public about certain future projects that would be coming out, maybe a future console that he spoiled or whatever. And maybe he said something about the Nintendo NX coming a year earlier, a couple months earlier, instead of 2017 or 2018 or something. It could have been anything at this point. It's up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Links in the description box down below to the article and the annotation on the side that you saw earlier. And that's it. Peace out once again, bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters. We'll see you when I see you guys. Good day, every night, wherever in the world. Don't drink smoke at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. Keep it calm. Keep it cool. Keep it chill. Keep it electric. All that good stuff. And until then, that's it, guys. Peace out, ladies, goodbye, and all that good stuff. Like I just said, you guys take it easy. Stay safe. Stay in the grind. Stay healthy. All that good stuff. Be easy. Be you. Do you to yourself. Brand new videos on this channel almost every single day. Like I just said, I'm out like sauerkraut. I'm going. I'm getting out of here. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, guys, stay tuned for more future content on this channel, and stay tuned for more updates. Talk to you guys later, and yeah, crazy ass article, man. I never expected Nintendo to do something like this. It's mind blowing, really. Very unexpected. Took me way off guard. And you know, best of luck to Chris Prang to try to get another job, man. And it's hard out there, but hopefully he'll be able to manage some sort of way. Talk to you guys soon. I'm out, and later.